Have you ever wondered why, even though you eat healthy, your vision seems to blur just a little more every year? Or why reading the fine print, recognizing faces, or seeing in low light becomes more challenging after 60? You might think this is just normal aging, something you have no control over. But here's the truth: your eyes are not failing because you're unlucky. They are responding to the same metabolic and oxidative processes that affect every cell in your body. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your retina, the part of your eye responsible for sharp central vision, as a high-definition camera sensor. Over decades, this sensor accumulates microscopic damage from oxidative stress and inflammation. Free radicals, those tiny molecules produced naturally by your metabolism, act like sparks, hitting the sensor every day. Without the right protective nutrients, these sparks can slowly degrade the quality of your vision. And here's what's really going on inside your body. As we age, antioxidant defenses decline, metabolic efficiency slows, and inflammation rises. Your eyes are literally more vulnerable to the environment you've created inside your own cells. But there's incredible news. The retina is designed to absorb nutrients that protect it, and the right foods can literally act as an internal shield. Nutrients like lutein and zeaxanthin accumulate in the macula, the central part of the retina, and filter harmful blue light, while vitamin C, vitamin E, omega-3 fats, and other antioxidants protect retinal cells from daily oxidative damage. What the research shows is that people who regularly eat these foods are significantly less likely to experience age-related macular degeneration and other forms of vision loss. In this session, we're going to go beyond myths and quick fixes. I'll show you why focusing on root causes like oxidative stress, inflammation, and retinal nutrient deficiency is far more effective than simply relying on supplements or hoping for miracle cures. And I'll give you very practical, actionable strategies, the exact foods, combinations, and timing that research suggests can help protect your eyesight naturally, even after 60. By the end of this talk, you'll understand the 5 science-backed principles that govern eye health with age. You'll know which nutrients actually make it into your retina, how metabolic health affects your vision, and how to structure your diet so your eyes receive daily protection. You won't just learn what to eat. You'll learn why it works and how to make it a natural part of your lifestyle. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I post content like this every day to help you optimize your health naturally, using the science your doctor might not tell you. Let's start with the first principle: protecting your retina with carotenoids. Here's what's really going on inside your body. The macula, the central part of your retina, is responsible for sharp, detailed vision. It's a tiny area, just a few millimeters wide, but it works like the lens of a high-end camera, capturing the light, colors, and detail you need to read, drive, or recognize faces. Over time, this camera sensor is constantly exposed to light, oxygen, and metabolic byproducts. Free radicals, those unstable molecules generated naturally as your cells produce energy, can damage these delicate cells. Left unchecked, this oxidative stress contributes to age-related macular degeneration, or AMD, which is one of the leading causes of vision loss in adults over 60. This is where carotenoids come in. Lutein and zeaxanthin are plant pigments found in high concentrations in leafy greens and egg yolks. What makes them remarkable is that your body doesn't just digest them and forget about them. They accumulate in the macula, literally embedding themselves into your retina. Think of them as built-in sunglasses. They absorb harmful blue light and act as antioxidants, neutralizing free radicals before they can damage retinal cells. Without enough of these nutrients, your macula has no shield against decades of environmental and metabolic stress. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your retina is a window, and every day sunlight shines through it. Free radicals are like tiny cracks that appear in the glass over time. Lutein and zeaxanthin are like protective film applied to the window. They reduce the intensity of the light, protect the glass from cracks, and help the window last decades longer. So how do you get these nutrients in the right amounts? Leafy green vegetables like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are excellent sources. Just 1 cup of cooked spinach can provide 20-25 milliliters of lutein and zeaxanthin, which is more than many supplements offer. Egg yolks are another source, and interestingly, the fat in the yolk increases absorption, making it more bioavailable than in vegetables alone. Other sources include broccoli, peas, and corn. The key is variety and consistency. These pigments accumulate over time, so daily intake matters. There's also a timing element. Fat-soluble nutrients like lutein and zeaxanthin are absorbed better when eaten with healthy fats. So adding a drizzle of olive oil to your salad or combining vegetables with avocado or nuts ensures your eyes get the full benefit. Behaviorally, here's a simple protocol. Aim for 2 to 3 servings of lutein-rich vegetables daily, include an egg most days, and pair them with healthy fats. If you want, consider rotating colors, greens, yellow, and orange vegetables for additional antioxidant coverage. Over weeks and months, this cumulative intake significantly increases macular pigment density, which studies show correlates with better visual acuity and reduced risk of AMD. Remember, this isn't a quick fix, it's a root cause intervention. By targeting oxidative stress at the source and reinforcing the macula with nutrients, you're protecting your retina in a way that no eye drops, magnifying glasses, or occasional supplements alone can do. If this insight is helpful, pause for a moment and consider which lutein-rich food you can add to today's meals. Start small, but start consistent. Your eyes will thank you decades from now. The second principle is simple, but incredibly powerful. Antioxidant vitamins are your cellular shield. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Every day, your eyes are exposed to light, oxygen, and metabolic byproducts. This constant exposure produces free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cell membranes, proteins, and DNA. Over decades, this cumulative damage contributes to cataracts, age-related macular degeneration, and general decline in visual acuity. What the research shows is that the body relies on antioxidants, specifically vitamin C and vitamin E, to neutralize these free radicals before they wreak havoc on delicate eye tissues. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of each eye cell like a small factory. Free radicals are sparks that can ignite fires inside the factory. Vitamin C and vitamin E act as the fire extinguishers, putting out these sparks before they can destroy the machinery. Without enough of these vitamins, your factories slowly degrade, one spark at a time. Vitamin C is water-soluble and concentrated in the fluids of your eye, like the aqueous humor. This means it can directly neutralize free radicals in the environment around your lens and retina. Studies show that higher intakes of vitamin C are linked to a lower risk of cataracts and slower progression of age-related vision decline. Foods rich in vitamin C include citrus fruits, strawberries, bell peppers, broccoli, and kiwi. Even a simple glass of fresh orange juice or a bell pepper in your salad can contribute meaningful amounts to your daily intake. Vitamin E, on the other hand, is fat-soluble and embedded in the membranes of eye cells. Its role is to protect the delicate polyunsaturated fats in retinal cell membranes from oxidation. Without vitamin E, these membranes become brittle and more susceptible to damage from light and metabolic stress. Sources of vitamin E include nuts, seeds, avocado, and wheat germ oil. Pairing these foods with a meal that includes carotenoids, like leafy greens, can amplify the protective effect because both vitamin E and carotenoids work synergistically to neutralize free radicals. Here's a simple daily protocol to put this into practice. Include at least 1-2 servings of vitamin C-rich vegetables or fruits with each meal. Snack on a handful of almonds, sunflower seeds, or an avocado to cover vitamin E needs. Combine fat-soluble nutrients, E and carotenoids, with a healthy fat source to maximize absorption. This approach isn't just about adding supplements, it's about building a daily habit of protection. The cumulative effect of consistent intake over weeks and months strengthens your eye's natural defenses, maintaining clarity, reducing inflammation, and helping prevent degenerative changes. Here's a practical tip for consistency. Make one meal your eye protection meal every day. For example, a spinach salad with bell peppers, strawberries, avocado, and a sprinkle of seeds covers both vitamin C and E plus carotenoids, all in one sitting. Doing this regularly is far more effective than taking a supplement sporadically. By focusing on these vitamins, you're not just addressing symptoms, you're tackling the root cause, oxidative stress that accumulates over decades. Your eyes will respond gradually, but the protection you're building now can preserve sharp, detailed vision well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. The third principle is critical yet often overlooked. Omega-3 fats maintain retinal structure and function. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Your retina is not just a collection of cells, it's a highly specialized tissue made up of neurons, photoreceptors, and support cells. These cells contain high concentrations of polyunsaturated fatty acids, particularly DHA, docosahexaenoic acid. DHA is a structural component of the photoreceptor membranes, meaning it literally helps maintain the flexibility and integrity of the cells that capture light and convert it into vision. Without sufficient DHA, these membranes can become brittle, less efficient, and more susceptible to damage from light and oxidative stress. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of the photoreceptors in your retina like the springs in a watch. Over time, springs can stiffen or break if they aren't properly lubricated. DHA acts like the lubricant for your retinal springs, keeping them flexible, responsive, and resilient to daily wear and tear. EPA, another omega-3, works alongside DHA to reduce inflammation, a major contributor to age-related eye degeneration. Chronic low-level inflammation in the retina accelerates oxidative damage and promotes conditions like macular degeneration and dry eye syndrome. So how do you get enough of these critical fats? Fatty fish are your best natural source. Salmon, sardines, mackerel, anchovies, and herring are rich in DHA and EPA. If you're not a fan of fish, algae-based supplements provide a plant-derived source of DHA. The research shows that regular intake of these omega-3 fats is associated with better retinal structure, slower progression of age-related macular degeneration, and reduced dry eye symptoms in older adults. Here's a practical whiteboard-style guideline. Aim for at least 2 servings of fatty fish per week, each around 3 to 4 ounces. On days without fish, consider adding a small algae-derived DHA supplement if your diet is low in omega-3s. Combine these fats with carotenoid and vitamin-rich meals to create a synergistic effect, protecting retinal cells on multiple fronts. There's also an important timing and metabolic context. Omega-3 fats are better absorbed when consumed with a small amount of dietary fat, but their benefits extend beyond absorption. They integrate into your retinal membranes over weeks to months. Think of it as building structural resilience rather than seeking immediate effects. Consistency is key. Behaviorally, you can implement a simple eye health meal rotation. Monday and Thursday, salmon with roasted vegetables and olive oil. Wednesday, sardines on a leafy green salad with avocado. Other days include omega-3 rich nuts, seeds, or a DHA supplement. By consistently integrating omega-3s into your diet, you're supporting the physical structure of your retina while also dampening inflammation. A root cause approach rather than just chasing symptoms. This combination preserves the flexibility, responsiveness, and clarity of your vision as you age. If this insight is resonating, take a moment to consider which omega-3 source you can include in your meals this week. Remember, small but consistent changes create cumulative protection for your eyesight, just like oiling the springs in a watch ensures it keeps perfect time for years to come. The fourth principle is one of the most important, yet often underestimated. Dietary patterns matter more than individual foods. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Many people think that taking a supplement or eating one superfood will protect their eyes. But vision health, like most aspects of aging, is the result of cumulative nutrition over decades. Your retina, lens, and optic nerve don't respond to a single meal. They respond to the long-term environment you provide, the nutrients that flow to your cells, the oxidative stress you allow, and the inflammatory signals circulating in your bloodstream. What the research shows is that patterns like the Mediterranean diet, rich in colorful vegetables, leafy greens, fish, nuts, seeds, and healthy fats, or the MIND diet designed for brain and cognitive health, are strongly associated with slower progression of age-related vision loss and better retinal function in older adults. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your eyes are a garden. Each nutrient is like water, sunlight, or soil nutrients. If you water one plant occasionally, it may survive, but the whole garden won't thrive. Consistently nourishing the entire garden, eating a variety of nutrient-dense foods daily, allows all the plants to flourish. Over decades, this creates a resilient, thriving ecosystem. In this case, your eyes. So what does a practical eye-protective dietary pattern look like? First, focus on variety. Include leafy greens, spinach, kale, Swiss chard for lutein and zeaxanthin. Colorful vegetables and fruits for vitamin C, anthocyanins, and flavonoids. Nuts and seeds for vitamin E, and healthy fats. Fatty fish 2 to 3 times per week for DHA and EPA eggs for bioavailable carotenoids. Whole grains in moderation to support metabolic health. Second, consider timing and consistency. Your body absorbs fat-soluble nutrients like lutein, zeaxanthin, and vitamin E better when eaten with healthy fats. So pairing vegetables with avocado, nuts, or olive oil ensures maximum absorption. Small habits, repeated daily, accumulate to a protective effect that supplements alone rarely achieve. Third, manage metabolic health alongside diet. High blood sugar, insulin spikes, and chronic inflammation accelerate retinal damage. Eating balanced meals, minimizing ultra-processed foods, and prioritizing fiber and healthy fats reduces these risks, creating a nutrient-rich, anti-inflammatory environment for your eyes. A practical protocol could look like this. Breakfast, spinach omelet with avocado. Lunch, mixed green salad with bell peppers, seeds, and grilled salmon. Dinner, steamed vegetables, olive oil, and a small serving of fatty fish or legumes. Over time, these patterns increase macular pigment density, maintain retinal flexibility, and protect the lens and optic nerve from oxidative damage. This approach reinforces the root cause perspective. You're not just masking symptoms, you're actively strengthening the eye's defenses. Finally, think of this as a lifestyle, not a short-term diet. By consistently eating nutrient-dense foods, pairing them intelligently, and focusing on metabolic balance, you're creating a protective framework that supports eyesight for decades to come. The fifth and final principle is often overlooked, but it's absolutely critical. Metabolic health directly impacts your eyes. Here's what's really going on inside your body. As we age, the way our bodies process energy changes. Insulin sensitivity declines, blood sugar spikes last longer, and chronic low-grade inflammation increases. This isn't just about weight gain, it's about what's happening at a microscopic level in your retinal cells. High blood sugar and insulin dysregulation accelerate oxidative stress, damage tiny blood vessels in the retina, and trigger inflammation that can lead to age-related macular degeneration, cataracts, and diabetic retinopathy. In other words, your diet, lifestyle, and metabolic control directly influence how quickly your eyes age. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your retina as a delicate river system. Chronic high blood sugar is like dumping pollutants into the water every day. Over time, the water becomes murky, erosion occurs, and the ecosystem struggles to survive. On the other hand, balanced blood sugar, reduced inflammation, and supportive nutrients act like natural filters, keeping the river clear and the ecosystem thriving. Your retinal cells rely on this clean, balanced environment to maintain sharp vision. So what can you do to protect your eyes at the root cause level? First, stabilize your blood sugar. Prioritize fiber-rich vegetables and low glycemic fruits. Include healthy fats and proteins at every meal. Avoid refined sugars and highly processed carbs, which spike insulin and accelerate oxidative stress. Second, support anti-inflammatory pathways. Include omega-3 fats from fatty fish or algae. Eat colorful fruits and vegetables rich in antioxidants. Consider lifestyle strategies such as light exercise, adequate sleep, and stress management, which all reduce inflammatory signaling. Third, time your meals strategically. Intermittent fasting or spacing meals to avoid constant insulin spikes has been shown to reduce oxidative stress and support cellular repair, including in the retina. Even simple changes like a 12 to 14 hour overnight fasting window, can help improve your metabolic environment over time. Behaviorally, a simple daily approach could be breakfast, veggie omelet with avocado, protein plus fat plus fiber; lunch, leafy green salad with seeds and grilled salmon; dinner, steamed vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. Avoid sugary drinks and late night snacks that drive insulin spikes. By combining these strategies with the nutrient-focused foods we discussed earlier, carotenoids, antioxidant vitamins, omega-3s, you're addressing both the structural and metabolic causes of vision decline. You're not just trying to mask symptoms with supplements. You're creating the optimal internal environment for retinal cells to thrive. If this has been useful so far, take a moment to reflect. What's one change you can make today to support both your metabolic health and your eyesight? Start small, start consistent. Your eyes are already thanking you. So let's bring everything together. Today we explored how your eyes, especially after 60, are highly vulnerable to oxidative stress, inflammation, and metabolic challenges, but also remarkably responsive to the nutrients and lifestyle choices you provide. We learned that age-related vision decline isn't just inevitable, it's a reflection of how well you protect your retina, support your metabolism, and feed your cells the nutrients they need. Here's a quick recap of the 5 principles we covered. Carotenoids like lutein and zeaxanthin accumulate in the macula, acting as built-in sunglasses to filter harmful blue light and neutralize oxidative damage. By eating leafy greens, egg yolks, and colorful vegetables regularly, you're literally shielding your central vision. Antioxidant vitamins C and E protect the delicate structures of your eyes from free radical damage, including citrus, bell peppers, nuts, and seeds. Daily strengthens the retinal fire extinguishers that keep oxidative stress under control. Omega-3 fatty acids, DHA and EPA, maintain the physical structure of your photoreceptor cells and reduce inflammation. Fatty fish, algae-derived DHA, and healthy fats ensure that your retinal springs remain flexible and functional. Dietary patterns matter more than single foods. Consistently eating a nutrient-dense, colorful, whole foods-based diet, like Mediterranean or Mind-style patterns, creates a cumulative protective effect for your eyes over decades. Metabolic health directly impacts your eyes. Stable blood sugar, reduced inflammation, and healthy insulin signaling protect retinal cells and reduce the progression of age-related damage. Strategic meal timing, balanced macronutrients, and lifestyle habits like exercise and sleep are essential allies. The key takeaway is this: protecting your vision isn't about a quick fix, a miracle supplement, or a one-time diet change. It's about consistent, root-cause strategies, nourishing your retina with the right nutrients, supporting metabolic health, and building long-term resilience against oxidative stress and inflammation. Each meal, each nutrient, and each lifestyle choice compounds over time to preserve the clarity, flexibility, and function of your eyes. Here's your direct challenge. Pick one actionable change today. Maybe it's adding a cup of spinach to breakfast, swapping a snack for a handful of nuts, or including fatty fish twice this week. Track how your body feels, how your eyes respond, and commit to small, consistent steps. Over weeks and months, these cumulative choices will make a measurable difference in your eye health. If this added value, like the video and subscribe to join others who are optimizing their health naturally using science-based, practical strategies. Your eyes and your future self will thank you for it. Key features in this conclusion: recap of all 5 principles clearly and memorably, reinforces root cause thinking and cumulative effect. Practical, actionable challenge for immediate implementation, natural, sincere CTA without sounding pushy, ties physiology, nutrition, and lifestyle together for lasting impact.